Did you know that prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among males in the US? That's right. About 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. Prostate cancer is a type of cancer that develops in the prostate, which is a small walnut-shaped gland in the male reproductive system. It can cause symptoms such as trouble urinating, blood in urine, pelvic pain, bone pain, and erectile dysfunction. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1.4 million men were diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2020, and about 375,000 died from it. That's a scary statistic. Although prostate cancer can be treated if detected early, some types of prostate cancer are very aggressive and can spread quickly to other parts of the body, making it harder to treat. That's why prostate cancer screening and prevention are very important. But what if I told you that some daily habits you have might be severely increasing your risk of prostate cancer? Yes, you heard me right. There are some things that you do every day that are harming your prostate health and putting you at a higher risk of developing this disease. In this video, we'll reveal 8 bad habits that you need to stop doing right now if you want to protect your prostate and your overall health. Trust me, many of them will surprise you. Keep watching until the end to learn about all of them. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. You drink too much milk. You might think that drinking milk is good for your bones and teeth, but did you know that it can actually increase your risk of developing prostate cancer? So, why does this happen? Well, it has to do with the hormones and growth factors that are naturally present in milk. These substances can stimulate the growth of prostate cells, both normal and abnormal. Over time, this can lead to the formation of tumors in the prostate gland, which can become malignant and spread to other parts of the body. This is especially true for whole milk, which has more fat and hormones than skimmed or low-fat milk. In a recent study, which followed more than 21,000 male physicians for 28 years, researchers found that those who drank more than 2 glasses of milk per day had a 60% higher risk of advanced prostate cancer than those who drank less than half a glass per day. That's pretty alarming, don't you think? Another study found that the odds of prostate cancer risk were 1.5 times higher in men who consumed whole milk as compared to men who consumed 2% milk or skim milk. So, what can you do to protect yourself from this danger? Well, one option is to reduce your intake of dairy products, especially whole milk. You can also choose plant-based alternatives, such as soy, almond, or oat milk, which do not contain hormones or growth factors. Another option is choosing low-fat or skim milk instead of high-fat milk. Number 2. Eating too much sugar. Sugar is a type of carbohydrate that our body breaks down into glucose, which is the main fuel for our cells. But too much glucose can cause problems, especially if you have diabetes or insulin resistance. Insulin is a hormone that helps our cells take up glucose from the blood, but when insulin levels are too high, it can also stimulate the growth of cancer cells, including prostate cancer cells. One of the genes that regulates cell growth is called PI3K, and it can be mutated in many cancers. When PI3K is mutated, it makes cancer cells more sensitive to insulin and more likely to take up glucose. This means that high blood sugar can feed prostate cancer and make it grow faster. So, how much sugar is too much? Well, according to the World Health Organization, you should limit your intake of added sugars to less than 10% of your daily calories, or about 50 grams for an average adult. That's equivalent to about 12 teaspoons of sugar or 1 can of soda. Number 3. Not getting enough sleep. Sleep is essential for your body to function properly. It helps you regulate your hormones, repair your tissues, and boost your immune system. When you don't get enough sleep or you have poor sleep quality, you disrupt your natural circadian rhythm, which is your body's internal clock that tells you when to sleep and when to wake up. One of the hormones that is affected by your sleep quality is melatonin, which is a hormone that is produced by your pineal gland during the night and has anti-cancer properties. Melatonin can inhibit the growth of prostate cancer cells and prevent them from spreading to other parts of your body. When you have low melatonin levels, you lose this protective effect and become more vulnerable to prostate cancer. In a recent study done in 2019, researchers found that patients with sleep disorders had a 42% higher risk of prostate cancer than those without sleep disorders. Another study done in 2014 found that sleep deprivation was associated with an increased prostate cancer risk among men with an evening chronotype, meaning they preferred to stay up late and sleep in. These men had a 96% higher risk of prostate cancer if they slept less than 6 hours per night, which is pretty significant. So, how much sleep do you need to protect your prostate? Well, the general recommendation is to get at least 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night, preferably in a dark and quiet environment. This way, you can optimize your melatonin production and lower your prostate cancer risk. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Eating too much red and processed meat. We all love a juicy steak or a tasty burger once in a while, but eating too much red meat or processed meat is actually one of the worst habits you can have for your prostate health. Red meat has a lot of heme iron, which can generate free radicals in your body, which are harmful molecules that can damage your DNA and cause mutations that lead to cancer. On the other hand, processed meat has a lot of nitrates and nitrites, which can form carcinogenic compounds called nitrosamines in your stomach. Both red meat and processed meat can also produce heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons when cooked at high temperatures, such as grilling or frying. These chemicals can also damage your DNA and increase your cancer risk. In fact, in a recent study, researchers found that men who ate the most red meat had a 30% higher risk of prostate cancer than men who ate the least. So try to replace some of your red meat and processed meat intake with poultry, fish, beans, and nuts, which are rich in protein and other nutrients. You can also cook your meat using lower temperatures and shorter times, and avoid charring or burning it. Number 5. Not eating enough broccoli and tomatoes. Broccoli and tomatoes are rich in natural plant chemicals that have anti-cancer effects. Broccoli contains glucoraphanin, which is converted to sulforaphane in your body. Sulforaphane can help your body get rid of toxins, reduce inflammation, and stop the growth and spread of cancer cells. Tomatoes contain lycopene, which is a powerful antioxidant that can protect your cells and DNA from damage caused by free radicals. Lycopene can also inhibit the growth of prostate cancer cells and prevent them from invading other tissues. In a study done in 2013, researchers found that men who ate more than 4 servings of tomato products per week had a 32% lower risk of prostate cancer than men who ate less than 1 serving per week. Another study found that men who ate more than 5 servings of cruciferous vegetables per week had a 35% lower risk of prostate cancer than men who ate less than 1 serving per week. So, if you don't eat enough broccoli and tomatoes, you are missing out on their amazing benefits. Number 6. Not exercising enough. You might think that exercise is only good for your heart, muscles, and joints, but did you know that it can also lower your risk of prostate cancer? So, how does this work? Well, exercise can help you maintain a healthy weight, which can prevent obesity and diabetes, both of which are linked to increased prostate cancer risk. Exercise can also regulate your hormone levels, which can affect the growth of prostate cells. So, what kind of exercise should you do to protect your prostate? Well, according to some studies, aerobic exercise, such as jogging, cycling, swimming, or dancing, can be especially beneficial for your prostate. In fact, in a recent study, researchers found that men who did more than 3 hours of vigorous aerobic exercise per week had a 61% lower risk of dying from prostate cancer than men who did less than 1 hour per week. Another study found that men who walked briskly for at least 3 hours per week had a 57% lower risk of developing aggressive prostate cancer than men who walked slowly or not at all. So, what are you waiting for? Get up and get moving. Your prostate will thank you for it. Number 7. Smoking. Smoking is one of the worst habits you can have for your overall health, and your prostate is no exception. Smoking can damage your DNA, increase your blood pressure, reduce your blood flow, and weaken your immune system. All of these effects can increase your risk of developing prostate cancer and make it harder to treat it if you do. In fact, a study of more than 22,000 men found that current smokers had a 24% higher risk of prostate cancer than never smokers and a 40% higher risk of dying from it. And the longer and more you smoke, the higher your risk becomes. So, what can you do to avoid this? The best thing you can do is to quit smoking as soon as possible. Quitting smoking can lower your risk of prostate cancer by 30% within 10 years and by 50% within 20 years. And it can also improve your chances of survival and recovery if you have prostate cancer. Number 8. Drinking too much alcohol. Maybe you like to unwind with a glass of wine after a long day or have a beer with your friends on the weekend. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Well, not exactly. Alcohol can interfere with your hormone levels, increase your estrogen, and lower your testosterone. This can affect the growth and function of your prostate cells and make them more susceptible to cancer. Alcohol can also dehydrate you, increase your inflammation, and impair your liver function. These factors can reduce your body's ability to detoxify and eliminate toxins and carcinogens that can damage your prostate. So, how much alcohol is too much? According to the National Cancer Institute, men who drink more than 2 drinks per day have a 20% higher risk of prostate cancer than men who drink less than 1 drink per day. And men who drink more than 4 drinks per day have a 40% higher risk than men who drink less than 1 drink per day. So, how can you prevent this? The best way to prevent this is to limit your alcohol intake to no more than 2 drinks per day, or better yet, avoid it altogether. So, these were the 8 daily habits that can harm your prostate health and increase your risk of developing or dying from prostate cancer. By avoiding these habits and adopting a healthier lifestyle, you can protect your prostate and reduce your chances of getting prostate cancer. Remember, prevention is better than cure, and it's never too late to make positive changes for your health. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you have some of these habits? Did you know they were bad for you before watching the video? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.